Okay, welcome back. This is Jimmy Pascal with JP's Coin Crafts, and we're going to go ahead and continue on the process of making a coin bell. And the first two videos were focused on the dome. Now we're going to focus on the skirt. And here's our coin here that we're going to use for the skirt. It was a Great Smoky Mountains National Parks quarter. And I've already put blue painter's tape on the face to just help protect it as I punch a hole. And I'm going to be using the Mega Punch set, punch and die set from Coin Tools Legacy brand. And I really love this set, and you'll see how easy it is to use. So I've greased it with coconut oil inside, and went ahead and got my punch ready, a 1/4 inch punch. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to use a 1/4 inch punch for this in just a second. But let's go ahead, and we have spacers. It's 24 millimeters. The quarters are. So we're going to put that in. We have our die, which is, we're going to use a 1/4 inch die. Actually, I have to put this in first. 1/4 inch die goes in, then our spacer. And then we go ahead and put our coin in, face down. Make sure it snaps in there really good. There you see it. We have our lid and our 1/4 inch punch. Now we're using a 1/4 inch punch. I found for quarters and making skirts for bells, you really have a great looking skirt. You have a taller skirt, and the proportion to the dome that you extruded from our first two videos where I showed how to extrude and make a really nice dome. This fits very well in proportion. The symmetry, the proportion, everything from the skirt to the bell is really going to look nice. So here I am going to go ahead and use my 6-ton hydraulic press and punch the hole. I use Pepe's lube, like I said, I might have said it already, to go ahead and put on the end of that punch. But I'm touching the punch now, and it's really going to be pretty simple with quarters. And this is 90% silver, so it's not going to take much, you know, just that much right there to punch the hole. Alright, I also have my leveler here. I can see everything, making sure everything is nice and level. That's one of the keys to having a nice centered hole, besides having a great punch set, is also making sure your hydraulic press is nice and level. Alright. Go ahead and take the lid off. Let's see here. Take everything out. And now to go ahead and get this off, I need to go ahead to our arbor press. And this is really simple here. Let's see what I'm going to do here. Go ahead and put it this way. Well, let me go ahead and do it that way. As you're sitting here watching this, just take the arbor press, just press down, and go ahead and press it the rest of the way. Just I take a cone, a Deburring cone here, and just go ahead and pop it on out. And we have our hole. I'm going to go ahead now, just take the tape off here to show you. And now I need to take it over and go ahead and deburr this hole before we go any further. But there's our 1/4 inch punch. But again, using a 1/4 inch punch, you're going to have a taller skirt, and it won't be so flared out at the bottom. If you were, and that's my go-to punch for quarters, is a 1/4 inch punch. If I was doing $half and higher, I use the 7/16 punch. I found that gets a really nice skirt. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and deburr this, and we'll continue on. Okay, we've punched our hole, and now getting ready to deburr. And you need to deburr this, because if not, if we start folding, it could possibly tear. So deburring helps keep these coins from tearing or splitting on you here. So I like to use this. This is the coin holder, actually, from Trevor Flexhog. He has an Etsy site, and I'll put his information in the description box below, below this video here. But I like this right here. It's pretty easy now. Just pop it in. It actually goes into the last slot here, and you just go ahead and take your deburring tool and you deburr. I like to turn it around, actually, because I can get it's closer here, and just go ahead and start getting that. Get all those, make it smooth. Get all those sharp edges off. I have a little plate here to catch my shavings. It may not be much now, but a year from now it may be a lot. I wouldn't really do this for clad or copper, but for silver, 9% silver, 9.99 silver, definitely save your clippings. Okay, go ahead and take this out, turn it around. This way I use it. I mean, you can, of course, do it this way as well. I've already done that side. So let's go ahead and but you want to make a nice even hole, because when you start folding, you don't want it to go wobbly on you. So nice, smooth, and get all this out. This great tool here, saves the fingers. I got some 320 grit sandpaper here. You can also take and sand the edges here, make them nice and smooth. This side here is really smooth. But anyway, you want to deburr before we do the folding process. And again, I like to use this. And here's my little misfit jar of silver. Not too much. It's all going to add up in the end. All my little shavings here of silver. So just want to show you that little process here of deburring and the tools you can use. Okay, we're back. We're getting ready to now do the folding process. And while I was away, after I deburred, I actually went ahead and annealed this coin. Just to be on the safe side, go ahead and anneal before we start folding. That way we kind of ensure ourselves of not tearing or splitting on us here. And the other tool I'm going to be using, a couple of things here. This is a die, a stabilizing die, and it's King's Coin Ring Tools that has these available, and it really keeps everything nice and stabilized. And this is the face I want to show, so I'll put it face down. And as you fold, the rim's going to stay at the top. The metal is not going to go down into the die. And also, in King's Coin Ring Tools, I got this starter cone, a 1/4 inch starter cone to do your initial fold. And everything's going to be, you don't have to worry about trying to level things up, because it's going to level up on its own. And then I have the arbor press we're going to use, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you. Go ahead and start this process, because we want this skirt to be like this one here. I got my little prop here. This is one, it's 90% silver, National Parks quarters I put together, and that's going to be, a little bit taller skirt. You can have it flared out. There's other ways you can flare the skirt if you don't like it too tall, but I like it, for me and my personal taste, and it all comes down to personal taste and what you like, but that's the shape I like for my bells. And we're going to make this skirt to be proportioned to our dome here that's waiting for a body. It's waiting for a skirt. And here we go with it. So go ahead with the starter cone, and you can press all the way down till it won't go anymore and your walls touch. Starter cone, stabilizing die for quarters, and we already started our skirt. Now the things you want to start doing here is, you got some skirt going. Maybe for dimes that might be all you need. but you check. Well, we got a long ways to go. Okay? Long ways to go. But I'm now going to switch from this stabilizing die. That's all you need this for. And I'm going to switch now to a 17 degree. And I'm going to use the 1.0 side. Let's just make sure. Yeah, the 9.0 is too small. And it fits right in there. And you want to make sure that it's nice. I've got it greased with coconut oil. Nice and level. Now this is the part that you might think gets tedious. But you have to take care in all this. This is a stainless steel 1/4-inch cone that I'm now going to be used to continue the fold. Actually, it's kind of like making a ring. But you don't go all the way with this one, just part way. And what I found out with that 1/4-inch hole that we punched, this is probably the last, really the only die or cone, the 1/4-inch stainless steel cone. This is probably the last folding cone you're going to need to finish out your skirt for quarters. And let's go ahead now, and I could press this all the way down, but I'm not going to because I don't want to risk tearing it. I want to keep checking. So let's go ahead and do some pushing down. Take it out. You want to check. You see the opening is now even larger. You want to make sure that it's not wobbly on you. If I was to crank this thing down, who knows? It could have slipped. I could have wobbled. Then you want to check. Well, there, it's not there yet, but it's getting close. Now, this is the other part people don't think about. Remember when I sanded this dome nice and flat? Well, you also want this right here, the top part of the skirt here, the cut side, to be nice and flat as well. Okay, right now, and this is what you need to start doing, is right there at that first push, go ahead with the, I got 120 grit sandpaper here on my metal block, my metal plate that I've peel and stick, 120 grit sandpaper, and go ahead and start sanding. Because when you sand, you're actually opening up that hole more. Okay? And then put it back on there, but as you can see, it's not ready yet. And we'll go ahead, put it back into the die. This is the other part. Make sure it's nice and level. Just have to turn it, eye it. Okay? Take my 1/4-inch cone. Now you can switch over to a Deburring cone if you wanted to. But I like to stick with this one because it's going to be upside down anyway. You're not going to see. But no one's really take bells and look underneath. You're not really marking them up that bad at all. I'll go ahead and I'll push just a little bit, because if you overdo it, you made the hole too big, well, you might have to start over with something else. But I'll check again. Still got a ways. I'll maybe sand a little bit more. But I just want to show you this. I'm not going to sit here and do the complete skirt for the video, but this is the process. You want to fold, okay? You want to fold. You want to check to see how close you are. Then, then you want to sand. You want to sand some. If you feel like as you are folding here and you feel it kind of work hardening a little bit, then I'd go ahead and anneal again, just to be on the safe side. I also take this over to my magnifier and I check to just make sure there's not going to be something getting ready to split on you. Okay, so those are the processes. And I'm going to go ahead and finish up this skirt and make sure it matches with the dome that we finished. And then we have other processes after that. But I'll be right back after I finish matching this skirt up with our dome.